All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're back. This is We the Revolution. This is a super interesting game. Hold on. Gotta change the gamepad. I don't want people to be able to find what we're playing. See, is it We dot? Yeah, it is We dot. Update. There we go. We the Revolution is... what's the best way to describe it? It's part visual novel, part adventure, choose your own path, part strategy, part family simulator. Basically, we play as a judge during the French Revolution. It is our job as the judge to stay in favor with the right people. So there's 3 different factions. There's the people and there's 2 other factions. And we have to kind of balance out all this while managing our political favor with the other aristocrats, plus managing our family life, plus conducting trials, plus taking on responsibilities to be the biggest guy in the region. There's a lot going on here. The demo's available for it right now. So you can get a free demo. You get to play like 2 days of the Revolution. But if you want to play the full game, it's on sale right now on Steam for $5. Normally it's $20, but right now it's on sale for $5. And I say skip the demo and just buy the game. Without further ado, let's just jump into it. So much reading. My voice is going to get so tired.
Father.
I'm going to mute myself real quick.
I am here. Do you hear me? I gave you the best I could. Why did you disown me? I have your blood in my veins. How could you? Do I mean nothing to you? Why did you grieve for him? He was nothing. I am better than he was. People will follow in my footsteps. Father.
I just noticed that the logo is the guillotine. They noticed that until just now. France, turn of the 18th century. Prologue. He threw up and wiped his mouth on the French flag. That's got to be, it's got to be a no-no, right? And I'm going to apologize now. I'm going to be butchering some names. Mostly just French names. This is Raymond. That's easy, but some of the names get much more difficult. Remind me next time that I want to stop drinking this cloudy rock gut. Reminds me before I drink it. We're disgracing themes, Themis? Ha, is someone coming? This was bound to happen. I told you. This is Bernard. This is my oldest son. This is Frederick, my youngest son. Papa, you said we would go. You promised. Papa had a lot of work to do. Yeah, a lot of heavy glasses. This is my wife. You promised me. I can't anymore. I'm fed up with you asking. I'm fed up with asking. Mom is angry because... Quiet. Today your favorite son wanted to prove he was more honorable than his father, so he started a fight. A 5-year-old boy, for God's sake. Our neighbors wanted you to explain that to them, but, well, you were fighting for justice. At an end, damn you, you bloody drunk. Mother. So my son's on trial now? This would be interesting. These are the documents and letters. Drag and drop documents to manage their layout. Click to display their contents. Events. React to events, ignore them, may have severe consequences. Notebook. Review detailed information about current events, actions, and characters. Verdict. Consider the effects and decide the defendant's fate. Change the options. Review your current balance of power in Paris, in your position where they're within. Intrigues. Intrigues are complex conflicts between you and other political players. A defeat may turn out to be disastrous for you. Influence points are the main currency in the game. Use them wisely. Notifications. Pay closely attention to the changes in your influence and relations with factions. Global modifiers. Some of your decisions and changes in the world game may cause global modifiers to come into action. These factors affect relations, reputation, and influence. You can review them in your notebook. So much already. Let's see what we got here. To Judge Alix Fadil. We have not expected this kind of behavior from your son, although apparently we should have. Innocent child's play turned into assault of our child. The younger one, Antoine, now has a chipped front tooth. So, fuck him. We hope that you will punish your child accordingly. Should the situation repeat itself, we will react more decisively. I'm sure you can deal with a gambler and a drunkard, even if he is a judge. We will not let our children be hurt. Finding links. Find the correct links to unlock questions for the defendant. Choose a line of inquiry and link it to the right category. We have 2 chances. While linkage lines are of inquiry and categories, you can make a limited number of mistakes. If you make too many mistakes, the whole system will become locked. Some cases may contain traps. Read through the files thoroughly to find the line of inquiry that are relevant. Well, the victim is... Sorry. Let's see. I don't remember seeing that in the documents. So that's not relevant. Wow, 2 of those weren't relevant. Questions. Gather information influence the jury's attitude by questioning the defendant. To ask questions, you must first unlock them in inquiry linking. Already done that. Being in the jury's good graces allows you to find out which way they will sway after you've asked the questions. So, like, my oldest son and my friend are in the jury. So this is just like a mock trial, so you... Punishment. Make the most important decisions. Condemn the defendant or condemn them not guilty. Sign it. Check it. What's this? Make your decision. Each action may require a different number of influence points and have a different chance of success. Consider them carefully. Your addictions are no longer a secret. The fact that other children are bullying your son because of them is a minor problem. But who is spreading these rumors? It's likely to be one of their parents. They could have whispered into the child's ear whom they shouldn't play with and why. They might even have spiced the story up with a lie. But who will hear it next? So I can intimidate the parents, I can talk to the parents, or I can just ignore it. Negative relations with factions mean negative consequences for you. This is your reputation meter. This is the number of influence points you have. There's the people involved in the case. How did your play turn into a fight? Our neighbors, Antoine and Jean, they were saying mean things about you. We were playing guards, and they asked me to pretend to be a drunkard whom they would, you know. You were fighting both of them at once? I had to. What exactly were they saying? Are you too drunk to guess? I was not asking you. They were yelling that you are, well, I told them that it's not true. They started calling me names. They called me a drunkard's son. Who started the fight? I can tell you who ended it. I think it was me. I kicked the one on the left and then wanted to get the one on the right. But they ended it. They knocked me to the ground and paid me back for hitting them. Did you really break Antoine's tooth? Frederick is just a child. I don't know. I don't think so. Did you hit him in the face? I think I kicked him, but not that hard. What am I going to do? Intimidate the parents? Well, I don't want to lose influence points, but you don't want to ignore it either. No, I can't change it. Damn it. You did well. A man has to defend an honor of his family, no matter what. Doom, doom. Slam that gavel. Those children are small, and they already know the truth. The father of my children is a lying drunk and a gambler. Bernard used to worship you, but he soon grew up. Now it's Frederick's turn to learn the truth that echoes in the streets. And you, Raymond, you're supposed to be my husband's mentor? Is this what you wanted to teach him? How to repeat your mistakes and lose his family? I wasn't aware that Mathilda had such a temper. As was I. We will wait outside as always. Of course I'm not going to find my son guilty.
Paris. Liberté! We were enchanted by the idea of freedom. We could not resist it. Whole families took to the streets. France was never so happy.
Not happy for that guy.
enchanted by the idea of freedom.
Yeah, that guy's not having a good day. Act 1, Liberté. Day 1. Expected sentence. Find out which verdict is expected by the faction you're close to. Well, they both want prison. Let's read the case file. Jean Renaud, 45-year-old innkeeper, has been charged with fraud. He is accused of diluting alcohol in his tavern, tricking his clients into paying extra. Guests came with their mind set on a specific goal, getting roaring drunk. But instead of staggering out after drinking 2 pitchers of wine or several pints of beer, they would sit in the inn until morning, still sober and completely penniless. The innkeeper's fraud came to light when one of the customers discovered the scam and caught the cheater in the act. The man entered the host cellar and witnessed him diluting the alcohol in the barrels with ordinary water. As a result, customers received only 4 parts of what they paid for and 1 part of water carrier. Customers receive 4 parts of what they paid for. I don't know, man. Like, you still give me like 3/4 of wine and 1/4 of water. I could probably still get drunk. Now, if it was 3/4 water and 1/4 wine, that I could understand, but I don't drink wine, so. As a result, customers receive only 4 parts of what they paid for. Anything good in the notebook? Neighborhood gossip. The father had a rare episode of foolishness when he decided to stand up to some common... Blah. The father had a rare episode of foolishness when he decided to stand up to someone stronger, threatening him with a fist and showing his children they are safe by his side. He did not listen to your arguments. Furthermore, he gave a precise description of where you can shove them. Tempting. Let me think about it. Imagine if I sent him to prison without even asking him any questions. Prison, sorry. Good luck. So let's see what we got. This is interesting. Because it's not a typical case of like... I mean, adding water and diluting the alcohol is the same thing, right? This one's going to be tricky. And it's the first case, well, the first real case. The innkeeper and the customer's drunkenness does not really seem all that germane to the case. Well, he was witnessed. Really? Then it's got to be that. Let's go back for a second. Guest came in with the specific goal of getting Rory drunk. He's accused of diluting the alcohol, which has already been... That and adding water have already been used. What's that icon? That's the adding water one, okay. Well, the innkeeper is neither a method, a witness, or a motive. So I don't believe this is relevant. Thank you. Ooh. I knew the innkeeper was not relevant. There's my dude. There's my mentor right there. What am I going to do about this? So I lost 2 reputation. And if I send... I'm just going to ignore it. I don't want to use influence, nor do I want to lose more reputation. In difficult times, people like to seek peace at the bottom of a glass. Please introduce yourself. My name is Humpty. Pronounced with... Oh, sorry. My name is Jean Renard, Monsieur le Judge. Nothing but a fraud! Systematically opposing the opinion of the jury may lead to serious consequences. How long have you been involved in the illegal practice of diluting alcohol? It's not a legal practice. Everyone adds a bit. In your case, it was a bit of wine in the water, not the other way around. Have you been doing this for a long time? A few weeks at the most. It's been hard to earn a living lately. I used to run an honest business. Pure wine was overspilling the glasses. Is there any proof to support your testimony? He lied to his customers. No reason he wouldn't lie in court. Ah, they want acquittal. How do you feel about tricking wary citizens? Terrible. All I wanted was to keep my business afloat. Others don't mess around for sure. No diluting would be the end of me. So you decided to commit fraud so as not to lose money. If I lost my tavern, my family would starve to death. Do you have children? I do. 1 son and 2 daughters. Time to start saving up for their dowry. Then why don't you send them to work, idiot? Do your clients drink a lot? Tavern regulars usually drink a lot. So you've been selling plenty of wine. Quite a lot, yes. And yet you have been paying taxes on the amount of wine that you bought, not the amount of wine that you've been selling, correct? I don't understand. You've been paying taxes on 4 wine barrels, but by adding quarter of water to each, you have actually made the money for selling 5 barrels of wine. That's one way of putting it. Perhaps correct. I'm not too good with numbers. You're not too good with numbers, yet good enough to have calculated the fraud pays off? I wasn't aware. I'll take that answer into account. The judge has exposed the bastard. Please call in Thomas Leclerc. Please introduce yourself. Thomas Leclerc. I'm a regular at Jean Renard's establishment. How long have you suspected that something was wrong with Mr. Renard's alcohol? I came suspicious around a month ago. Plenty of wine jugs were emptied, but instead of getting more drunk, I was just getting sober. It was already dawn when I realized I had no money left on me, and I was sober as a baby. How was that possible? Back then, I didn't realize customers were being served a proper first drink, then received more and more water in the drinks after that. Being slightly drunk, they weren't able to notice the difference. Was it like that every time? Every single time. Not looking too good for you, Mr. Renard. People want jail. Jury wants jail. No more questions for the defendant. This guy's over here doing some blow. Let's think about this. There's going to be a lot of these moments where it's just me in silence thinking. I apologize for that. But I'm really trying to put myself in the place of the judge for this. Which, I mean, you're supposed to. He was diluting the wine with water, so he continued making money to keep his business open so his kids won't starve. If I send him to jail, his business will surely close, and his kids surely will starve. If I don't send him to jail, there's going to be a lot of people pissed off at me. He has those basset hound eyes, too. Like, he's just staring at me like, please, don't send me to the pole house. I don't want to do it, but I'm going to do it. I send Citizen Jean Renaud to prison. Leave the condemned out. Huzzah! Long live pure wine. Moving on. After a trial, click to move on to the next part. And we out. Jacques Louis Divin. May I remind you that you promised to join me. I have a feeling that tonight's moon favors gamblers, though it does not favor spouses. God should grace us with wives who understand the importance of an evening game of dice. They should also know that the right amount of wine guarantees a lucky roll. I should go home. Bring a judge to the game that has benefits. Other players will surely not cheat. That is not a strong argument. My name is Jacques Louis David. I am but a humble painter, not a silver-tongued judge. You are a sly politician, Jacques. As a politician, I understand the importance of keeping promises, and you, my friend, are trying to get out of yours. Yeesh. All right, but only for a short while. I had to keep my promise. Plus, we'll see if there was like a dice game in the game. That'd be cool. Yikes. That's not a good sign. She's going to have my butt when I get home. Yikes.
The moon favors gamblers.
I thought there was going to be more there. What? Silence. You can berate me, as you always do. Frederick sometimes images you as a... Frederick sometimes imagines you as a deep sea sailor. He dreams that you'd visit distant countries, have wonderful adventures, and one day you'll return and tell us all about them. But all I see is a man in a lifeboat, and one of your oars is broken. A furious storm churns up huge waves that are fated to devour you, and I'm sitting on the edge of a cliff holding a makeshift lamp. Your children have already forgotten about you. They are far, far away. Your father died of old age. Your drinking companions now play cards with new friends. But not you. No, I'm still standing on the shore, hoping that your boat does not sink. That vision is not so distant either. Your sons are still young, but the storm has already begun, if you don't turn around now. Good night, and then she flips the table over. She will smack me? Before the storm creates the highest wave, you will have to bow before it, alone. It will force you to become meek, and nobody will be there to see it. Family actions. Upon returning home, you can decide how you would like to spend the rest of your day. Various actions. Each action will affect the other members of your family, as well as their attitude toward you. Each character's attitude can provide you with, or deprive you of, certain bonuses. Your youngest son is special. His attitude makes the other family members like you slightly more. Take good care of him. Locked action. After various important events, you may find you with an action forced upon you. On this day, you become the victim of your own decisions. So there's nothing I can do except see that they're all pissed off at me, and it hurt myself. Oh, I'm like, I hit accept. Day 2, Liberté. I mean, that's just scratching the top of the surface of the game. Today, the people of Paris commemorate Jacques Guillemot-Simonet, the mayor of Etapas. Look, I told you to begin with, I'm going to butcher names. It just is what it is. He was lynched by a furious mob for performing his duties to France. This march shall symbolize the unity of our society and the hope that the most violent stage of the revolution is past us. Let's make sure that no other loyal servant of France becomes a victim of such hatred ever again. King Louis the 16th. Simonet was a good, loyal officer. Those bastards lynched him for observing the law. Will you join me at the march? Oui. We ought to show that we oppose the self-appointed executioners and stand alongside the victims. I wonder why the king has taken the trouble to show up. King Louis XVI marching arm in arm with the people of Paris. That is unexpected. King Louis! Louis Capet. Continue, please. I'm merely an observer. Do not change your habits for me. I heard a thing or two about a young and ambitious judge of the tribunal. I was curious whether he is guided by justice or by entertainment, as some would say. Can I click on that book? Can you do that? Can you just walk into a courtroom and sit down and be like, hey, I just want to sit here? Don't mind me. Look at this guy. So the people want an acquittal, the revolutionaries want prison. In the city, only the dead are free of addiction. Why do you care about people's idle gossip? I don't. Fudge them. Poor papa. That's cute. Thanks for the... Never mind. I almost said something I shouldn't have said. What do we got here? Theft and burglary. The defendant, Olivier Mugler, his last name is Mugler and he's guilty of theft and burglary. Seems like he had no choice. A 65-year-old master locksmith who is famed among Parisian burglars as an expert on unoperable... You can tell I've been going too long because my brain, the mouth, speech functions aren't working properly. One more time. The defendant is Olivier Mugler, a 65-year-old master locksmith who is famed among the Parisian burglars as an expert on unopenable locks. Last month, he was commissioned by owners of a Parisian glassworks, Jean Leroux, Louis Roux, and Ferdinand Salon, to construct locks for ornate chests for valuables, presumably as gifts for their wives. The craftsman praised his latest creation as thief-proof. Shortly following their completion, the industrialist houses were hit by a series of burglaries committed by a recent newcomer to Paris, Hector Vivien. The thief from Orleans was caught in the act and shot by Ferdinand Salon. This guy. An expensive Turgot map of Paris with the houses of the recently robbed individuals marked on it was found on the deceased. Surprisingly, Salon had given Mueller an identical map as advance payment. This deposit was in addition to the agreement remuneration from all the employers. Oh, that makes my head hurt saying all that. There's more? It says page 1 of 2. It says 1 of 2, right? I feel like I only got like half the info. Prison. Sorry. So we know he makes locks. This is a trap. Oh, there's no trap questions. Yeah, but I didn't see anything about a drunken evening in this. I feel like there's more. Well, lock construction was part of the course of events. Huh. Hmm. I don't think that has anything to do with it, but there's no trap questions. Well, the marks on the map are important as evidence. And not too bad. I mean, there was a lot in that one. All right, let's get to these questions. Everything good? Robbing the bourgeoisie is no crime. According to the case file, you are citizen Oliver Mugler, is that correct? Indeed it is, Monsieur le Judge. May I have a request? I would like to sit down. I'm an old man, you see. Basic respect for the judiciary requires that you remain standing. Do the names Salon, Rude, and Result mean anything to you? Why are you so determined to harass an old man? They sound like the names of my debtors. Debtors? They are victims of activities you conducted. You mean locksmithing? I'm worried about asking questions. Because sometimes you'll ask a question, then it'll kind of like erase the rest of the questions. Rumor has it that you're one of the best blacksmiths in Paris. I should deny it for modesty's sake, but I will not. That cannot be true, though, as a random thief from Orleans was easily able to open your locks. Well, then he must have been one of the best thieves in Orleans. Let's be serious, Monsieur le Judge. Every lock can be picked with the right talent, even my locks. You were commissioned by the victims to make chest locks? Who installed them? It was me, naturally, and all in agreement with the contract. My job was to prepare and install the locks, and the employer was only to come, see whether the work was completed, and pay, of course. Was the installation carried out at your workshop? No, on site, at the client's property. None of those idlers bothered to deliver the trunks to my workshop, so I had to strain my old legs. Does that mean you knew the address of the victims? How else would I get there? Blindfolded on a wagon? How much did you charge for your services? 3,000 francs. Tidy sum, that is. If you are a master locksmith, you charge that much too. That's quite a substantial fee. Indeed, that's how much it costs to have high-quality locks made by a master with nearly 50 years of experience. And those bastards never paid me a single franc. The victims did not pay you the agreed amount? Not a franc. I'd beat that money right out of them, but I'm too old for that. Interesting. Do you recognize this map? No, I don't recall ever seeing it before. Ferrer Salon claims that he gave this to you map as advance payment for your services. He claims what? That wicked wretch of a second-rate merchant? He gave me a scrap of paper as payment for making 3 locks? Says it's supposed to be worth more than 3,000 francs he owes me? An honest laborer is being judged, while frauds remain at large. Silence. So this map does belong to you. It doesn't. Swear it is the map you received from Citizen Salon. I lost it, but it wasn't even worth a loaf of bread, so I surely won't shed a tear. But if you have it, maybe you stole it from me. You better make note that Oliver Mugler demands remuneration from Rude, Roos, and Salon. Interesting. Did you know of Hector Villon before? That is the first time I've heard that name. That's interesting. As you see... Okay. My brain had to process that word real quick. That's interesting, as you were seen draining several bottles of wine together at Ginger Margaret Inn. Is that a crime? No, but the question is, why are you denying it now? Was your drunken spree just a deception for disguising the burglary? Nobody, what? I had a drink with it introduced themselves as Hector. I didn't plan any heist with Hector, Victor, or Hugo. I'm a locksmith. I earn good money from it. Burglaries are for vagrants without a job. Did you give Hector the map with the victim's mouses marked on it? I gave nothing to Achilles, Hector, or any other Greek. Ah, no! Calling the witnesses, Citizen Jean Leroux. I had more questions to ask, damn it. Jean Leroux, in the flesh. You will not speak unless called upon. Naturally, of course. What went missing during the burglary? My house was the first one to be robbed. In my case, it was mostly valuables. At Leroux's house, he will not say it himself, and I do not want to go to prison. It was a letter he exchanged over the years with King Louis. Damn monarchist! Salon did not lose a thing. He shot the vermin in the act. That is what he said. What happened to the items that he has stolen? That still remains unknown. According to Salon, Hector had nothing with him. Ferdinand suspects that he had hidden the other valuables somewhere. He hid the other items before robbing the last house? Strange. Advance payment in the form of a map, its disappearance, the murder of a burglar, and a lack of payment for services, it all makes for a rather strange story, a suspicious one, too. I do not. What are you mumbling? If I say something, will I be free? He knows something. Please testify to what you know immediately. The map was Solom's idea. He told the thief about the advance payment we gave to the locksmith and proposed that Hector steal it. And he did? Indeed, but then the bastard robbed us. Later we were forced by Salon not to pay the locksmith because he sent the thief after us. And that's when it all went down the drain. That's the bourgeoisie for you. He fooled them all in the one fell swoop. It sounds like Citizen Salon had everything planned. However, there is no evidence to support the claim. Perhaps it is the Citizen Rude that is plotting against his partner and wants to frame him. And Vienne is dead, so we will not be able to shed light on any of this. If I was younger, I'd give that Salon a drubbing. That pig, that good-for-nothing lying bastard. Please refrain yourself. The testimony of a witness is still not evidence, neither of Citizen Salon's guilt, nor of your innocence. Did you tell Hector Vivian how to open the locks in the victim's trunks? I understand what you're implying, but consider this. If he sold the secret of my locks, then my business would be over. Word spreads fast among thieves. I mean, that question's not germane because we already know who did the maps. I didn't mark anything. The houses of your clients are marked on the map. I don't know who marked them. Maybe you should ask the person who found the map. Maybe the court made the marks and has no memory of doing so. Do you not think that there are too many coincidences in your story? You obtain the map, you lose it, and it is found on the thief who has robbed your clients? I know nothing of coincidences. I only make locks. Anything else? Nope. Nope. That's all good. I mean, there's no evidence here to sustain that he had anything to do with this. It's all circumstantial because he was not proven to have robbed anybody. Having a drink with somebody is not a crime. So, well, I'm sorry, the revolutionaries are going to be mad at me? The verdict of citizen Oliver Mugler is not guilty. Lead the defendant away. Bravo, Mugler! Away with the bourgeoisie! To be honest, this does not bear the marks of social justice. They would not pay him, so he had to rob them. There is a balance there. I don't think he robbed them. I don't believe he robbed them. I don't believe he had anything to do with it, so... The revolutionaries are pissed off at me. Who cares?
King Louis XVI. There were people who truly loved him. He reminded the French they had noble ancestors. Do not be manipulated by people who are not bearing the burden of responsibility. This saddened me. Someone had advised him to say that. Someone who was well aware of the cold, inevitable wind of change. I did not pity the king, but those who will come after him, as they will not have great ancestors.
One of us. Frenchmen marched in the streets of Paris side by side, one line after another, to commemorate Simonet, mayor of Etamas. He was murdered by a furious mob, punished for the law he did not enact but was obligated to observe. Freedom of speech killed him. If we understand this as a right to cast stones to show one's discontent, the right to murder people because you deem them responsible for your miserable life, surely the people of Paris would prefer if we said that nothing happened. +3 to common folk, +1 to revolutionaries. Your son is rather good at the viola. He is both talented and enthusiastic. I would prefer that he was enthusiastic about law books I give him. Maybe his destiny is to become an artist, not a lawyer. Mother likes hearing me playing. There's nothing more boring than law. See? He would let his career rely on the humors of the people. There are many ways to rescue France. Believe me, our country desperately needs something to ennoble it. The power is in the hands of simple, illiterate people. Let him rescue their souls with music. This is better than boring laws and clauses. See what you're doing? You are spoiling my child. I do not have my own children to spoil, so I am focused on yours. Speaking of which... Oh no. What? So I attended the march. Angry, doesn't care, good for me.
That is our new symbol of freedom. You can still smell the fresh wood.
Do you feel free looking at it?
Individuals like us do not need symbols, but France does. Did you hear the news of the day? People are running around like headless chickens and yelling about Louis and his entourage escaping Paris.
So, we will not be enjoying the aroma of fresh wood for long.
Monuments like that are not installed solely for the purpose of punishing thieves or lesser aristocrats.
Do you think it wants to taste royal blood?
Louis's flight was a stupid move, yet it seems it was planned. One of us will sacrifice him. That is, if they catch him.
Is that why Louis visited us at the court? To manipulate us?
Maybe deep in his heart he felt what the builders of the guillotine did. That someone has to be exposed as a traitor, even if there is none.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to do it for the stream today. I'd like to thank everyone who came out and hung out in chat. Thank you to lurkers for lurking. I appreciate it. That was We the Revolution. It's a fun game. I look forward to playing more of it going forward. Hope you have a wonderful day. I'll be back at it again tomorrow at 3 o'clock Eastern Standard Time with more Darkest Dungeon, more We the Revolution. And thank you so much. Have a wonderful day.